we have, we can have realistic, constructive criticism about ourselves while being kind. And then also, be careful of not getting too delusional. So, again, like when I say that, like, here's another example from my personal experience. Sometimes I get really down on myself when I don't think I have, like, I'm not getting followers, or I'm not getting, downloads on the podcast and all of that. And when I think about it, because it feels like I put in a lot of time and energy into this, but then, when I really think about it, I could definitely be doing more. And so people make things in certain arenas look like it's super easy and that it happened for them overnight. And again, sometimes those sorts of things do happen. But most of the time, people work on things for years before they ever see any sort of progress from it. And so it's like, what level of commitment are you willing to put in? And, I think sometimes my expectations don't necessarily meet my commitment level. And that's something that I'm personally trying to work on. But it's like, that's when it's like I get a little delusional, because I feel like, well, this week I worked so hard on the podcast and I did all this stuff, and like, I just don't have any followers or viewers. And it's just like, well, you did that for 1 week. So this is where, the realistic, constructive conversation comes in. I'm not being negative to myself about, like, no, you didn't work hard enough, you're just a piece of shit, you need to do this and this. No, I'm being realistic and saying, like, well, you did that for 1 week. Maybe if you worked that hard, for multiple weeks in a row, what would the outcome be? Maybe you have to do work like that for a year. Maybe you have to work like that for 2 years. Like, it's hard to say with this, social media and internet industry. I'm sure someone has the answers. I don't, because that's not my realm. So again, it's kind of like, not like, it's easy to get on it. It's another thing to figure it out. So, it's like, but I'm not being negative about that. I'm being realistic in my approach to it. So whatever sort of thing that you're doing, whatever sort of self-improvement, like, realizing that it's going to take time, it's going to, you're going to have to do certain things in that, and you're going to have to do those certain things and habits and, all of that for a while before you might even see any progress. So, having realistic, expectations, and then having those realistic, constructive conversations with yourself, I think are incredibly important to self-improvement, because if we just continue to lie to ourselves, then we're not actually going to make any sort of improvement. So you got to find the line between the delusional, like, yeah, I should be a millionaire today. I put $100 in the bank on Friday, and why don't I have $1 million in the bank on Monday? Like, obviously that's like, very silly and delusional. But like, some people with different things, it's like that's what they think should happen. Like, no. But you can have realistic, constructive conversations with yourself where, you're maybe even tweaking and being like, okay, I've tried this for a while and that's not really working. And, I'm still looking for this sort of outcome. And you kind of figure things out.